Hello and welcome to CPR's Clubhouse Live. My name is Jose Ortiz, CPR, the Crazy Puerto Rican. I'm being joined by our guest this week, Willie Valentin. Willie, thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you for calling me and inviting me for this.
We're going to go live immediately right now. It looks like we're waiting for the signal to go. What's going on here? Maybe. Oh, okay.
Live 1 second. Yep. No, it says, but I don't see anything yet.
Now it should be up already. Let me just see here. Oh, okay. Now we're going to go live. You ready?
Yep.
See, we were talking, but I didn't, whatever. It's CPR with you, along with Willie Valentin. Welcome to CPR's Clubhouse Live. I want to welcome everyone who's here joining us publicly. Everybody's ready for this Willie Valentin interview. It's just a chat amongst friends. I invited Willie to come on to discuss this great year that you've had. It's amazing that not only have you been responsible for so many of the remixes being put out by many of the artists, including artists like Diddle D, Jesse B, Andrea Martin, George Anthony and Cynthia, Charlie Rock, Joanna Hansen. You have a whole list of people that you worked for and with in 2020. But also right now, you have the biggest hit of the summer right here behind me, TKA Slipping Through My Hands. You released the new Jasmine Dennis, and you currently have the #1 song for 3 weeks in a row, Alyssa B's Memories of Love. How busy are you this year?
Been crazy. I intended to be very busy this year. Not the way I am, though. I thought it was going to be a different type of busy, but it's a good busy. And I'm having a good time. The fans are being real receptive. I can't ask for anything more. If the fans like the music, that's all I want.
I'm really proud of the fact that you're able to touch so many lives in many different ways. And what I mean by that is that it looked like in 2019 you had taken a step back, you had taken some time off, and you weren't as busy. But in 2020, you came with a vengeance. You came for the throne. You came for the Producer of the Year award. It just seemed to me like it was one song after another, hit after hit after hit after hit. I don't think there has been no duds in this one.
No, it's definitely been. It reminds me of when I first started my label 25 years ago. How being busy and having fun. When I can do a production and dance to it when I'm in the studio, of course, no one's looking, but just being there and just vibing to it, then I know it's how I like to do music, and the big part of it's having fun. And if I'm feeling it, then I know I can show it to the fans and release the stuff.
Now, it took a little while for the song by TKA to be released. It was a 2-year journey. Now that we are in the midst of 100,000 downloads, how does it feel, this whole journey that we've had together as executive producer? I've shared this moment with you, and it's a long time coming because, we've been friends since 1995. But for you, how's this journey of this TKA release been so far for you?
So I remember when we started doing it years ago, doing the production, and then, time passed in between going, I wonder if I'll ever release this record, TKA is my ultimate freestyle group, favorite freestyle group of all time. Looked up to them and saw them perform, when I was a teenager. And it felt great when we actually put it out, and to hear the KTU playing the commercial, I was like, wow, a tear came out of my eye. I'm like, wow, I'm working with TKA. This is crazy, It's an overwhelming feeling. That day, I'll never forget. It reminded me when I first heard One True Love Affair on the radio in Miami. Same feeling, I feel like I was in my 20s again, and things were starting to happen. It felt really, really good.
For me, I loved the reaction of the audience, and it brought me back to my favorite Freestyle Parade Volume 2. And you remember, I tell the story all the time where I got the CD, pink CD, I got the Walkman. I put the CD player on repeat and slept with it. I woke up with an imprint in my face, but it was the best feeling to listen to that compilation. And to see that come full circle. You've done remixes for TKA. You did a song that was never released when Tommy Boy was closing down. There's a bootleg out there of that. When Will I See You Again? And we were just waiting for an actual collaboration that took 10 more years after that for it to materialize. And then 2 years of starts and stops. And you talked about how you were kind of intimidated to do the song, but I guess it became a masterpiece. Now it's something that I don't know where you tapped to get the creative juices to do the song. What was your inspiration for creating the production for Slipping Through My Hands?
Yeah, the weird thing, it's a lot. The song, when it was released, sounded a lot like the demo. A couple of things changed. In the beginning, I had samples and scratches that didn't make it to the final cut, which I loved, but just didn't make it. And I was excited. I wanted to show that K, that what I can do for him, like what I can bring out of TKA, because I know I was always a big fan, and I wanted to do them justice. Like TKA is nothing bigger than that, and I put my all. Go back, add some stuff, go back, take some stuff away, go back, add stuff again, and how I always call you and say, "What do you think about this? What do you think about that?" And when I get no reaction, that means you didn't like it. So I go back.
I loved the different versions that I received throughout the 2 years, and how in the end you rocked it. Like you started with this template, and then the template evolved, but you didn't. It's like what you said. You didn't like fade away from the original concept, but the end product was so hard hitting. And for DJs is DJ friendly. You got an intro, you got the outro, but you got that awesome break. And I think the DJs have missed that. I think the biggest thing about the remixes that you've done for 2020 and the extended version of TKA Slipping Through My Hands is that you remember the DJs. You remember what we remember as from the show at Netflix. The what was that called? The groove, the break, I forgot, but it's from that movie, the breakdown. There you go.
Yeah.
So you remember the breakdown, and it became something where I remembered the breakdown from the show, and you obviously did, because the DJs are in love with all the breaks.
Yeah, I was a big fan. I still am, but I mean, starting off, Latin Rascals, Andy Panda, all those people, I was huge fans of all of them, and I remember I used to buy records. I used to DJ, and getting those dubs and those extended mixes. And when I did my single "Dedicate My Love" in March, when I was doing all the mixes, I got to do a dub. I got to do extended. I'm gonna do I wanted to bring it back to that time, and I'm glad DJ like Tim Schomer heard it. He edited his own version from all the different mixes, the drum
Yes,
dubs, and
I love when he does that.
And he does it well,
And he puts effects, and then the one trick that he does is that there's no acapella, but he has one,
Yeah.
or creates one. I'm like, how did he get the acapella? I don't have the acapella to that.
No one like you. He called me years ago. He's like, "Oh, do you have the acapella?" I said, "I can get it for you." He said, "Oh, please." And I went back in the studio, just muted all the instruments and sent him the acapella. And everybody's like, "Oh, you have acapella?" I'm like, "Nope."
So big shout outs going to Tim Spinning Schomer, the greatest of all time when it comes to mixing, and I'm a big fan. I remember you introduced me to his mixes, Heartbeats. You went to Chicago. You let me hear some of the mixes from Chicago, the tapes, and I was like, I need a copy of that as soon as possible. And I hounded you, and it wasn't like now, like before, you had to actually travel to get a copy, because you were in New York, I was in Massachusetts, and I would take a 3-hour drive just to get there. I always got lost going to your house, so it would take me a little longer, but that's neither here nor there. So it's 25 years of Artistik Recordings. Can you believe that? I mean, that to me is mind blowing. Because what was that?
Half of my life.
Yeah, man. It's like I remember meeting you in 1995. We met at the Music Center. I was a fan. you thought I was a homosexual trying to hit on you. You know what I mean? You know, whatever.
Actually, I met you in '94.
It was 90. Yeah, you were with Randy Kendall.
Yeah.
And he had the hat. It said Will Valentin. And I had the One True Love Affair 12-inch. And I went so hard as a fan that you kind of like, I was like, he was taken aback. And he thought I was trying to hit on him or something like that. But I'm like, no, like,
yeah, my car.
Yeah. I was a total fan. And then we became friends. And the good thing about it is I started a show at 103.5. I remember leaving for a gig in the middle of winter, in the middle of the marathon. We were doing 6 a.m. to 6 a.m. the next day. And I left you there with Michael Anthony Berteau, and I let you guys take the reins of the radio station. No training, no nothing. And I went and I did my gig, and then after I was done, I came back. I remember that. But it just developed. But you know, the deal with Micmac to get Freestyle Parade out to the community. You know, all these years later, how has this 25-year journey? I mean, it's like that. You know, it's 25 years. How do you feel?
So it went by really fast. But I remember in 1995 when we started with Micmac, and you know, the excitement of going into a record store when we had, you know, stores, and seeing my CD, my cassette, you know, in the end cap, in the, you know, on display. And now it's different. Everything's digital. And now I'm doing it with Gino at 418 Freestyle. And it feels like that again. You know, Gino's doing a lot of great things. 418 is amazing. Everything that I felt back in '95, I'm feeling again. And I got to give props again back to 418 Freestyle, because they're doing things that I didn't, you know, I'm not doing myself. They figured out a lot of things in the digital era, and it's a great partnership, you know, without a doubt. And it makes me excited, you know. It definitely brings me back. I feel the same I did 25 years ago, excited and happy. I feel excited and happy now, because we're making things happen. You know, when Freestyle Parade came out, you know, it wasn't, you know, 500 units. We're talking about 60, 70, 80, 90,000 units. And to see streams like TK breaking 100,000, Elisa B, you know, I think she's over 30,000 now. And the downloads are crazy as well. So that's the new industry, downloads and streams. You know, we got the vinyl and the CDs, and then that's cool. But I'm excited to see, wow. And I check it every day. I'm looking at the streams. I go to iTunes and see where we're charting. And I look at others too when they release a song. Wow, so I get the excitement again. It feels like I'm 25 again. You know, it's awesome.
And it's 25 years. That's a quarter of a century, man, that you've been with Artistik Recordings. And how did the concept of Artistik Recordings happen? How did the artistic name come about?
Yeah, I think I've said the story a couple of times, but I remember having my studio, a little home studio at my mom's and my pop's apartment in Chelsea, in New York, and hanging out. We were doing music every day, all day. Doesn't matter. That's what we did. And I remember doing a track. I think we were working on "Don't Turn Love Away" for Lorenzo Delon, and we were vibing and having such a good time. He goes, "Yo, you should start a label, man. We should start a label, and Artistik Records." I'm like, "Wow, I love that name." You know, I give props to Lorenzo. He's the one who came up with that idea, and I just added the K. You know, instead of a C, and then you know, the rest is history. That it just, you know, he made it a joke, like we just vibing, and it just stuck.
And it's ironic that he's the first artist to ever be released on Artistik Recordings.
Yep, absolutely. And originally it was just, I was just doing a remix for him, like I'm doing now, because there was an original mix that wasn't released, and we went back into the studio. I just changed everything up, and Michael Anthony changed some of the melody and stuff like that, and we came up with "Don't Turn Love Away."
Out of the compilations, the first four, volumes 1 through 4, which one's your favorite?
2, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
And what is it about 2 that it makes it your favorite? Because I know why it makes it my favorite, but I want to know about you.
We sold a lot. No, I'm just kidding. I'll just give you a quick story. You know, I don't want to be too long-winded, but I'll never forget doing a show, the opening up for Coro. Freestyle Parade 2 had just come out maybe 2 weeks ago. And I get into the limo and he's blasting George Anthony. And I'm like, that's my CD. But I didn't, me and Coro knew each other, but we didn't, I guess he didn't know that was me who produced it. And
Right.
he's like, oh man, I love this song. I've been playing it all day. Then I hear Reveal. Then I hear Michael Anthony. I'm like, what CD you playing? He shows me the cover and it's Freestyle Parade 2. I'm like, to see Coro buy my compilation, because that was just everything for me. I'm like, that's my CD. And he was like, for real, because I love all the songs on here. And that was an amazing feeling.
And that opened up doors for you to do a remix for him for Tell Me Why, which is a song released on Micmac on one of their compilations. You actually did two versions of that song. You did the remix, and then you did like a modern R&B type remix with Michael Anthony Berteau. And I remember that being a popular track as well. So everything kind of comes together for you with that. There's a lot of projects too that you've worked on that you forget about. Like you worked with one of the cast members from Glee before she was part of Glee, Leah Michelle, and you don't remember that, but you did. If you say My Eyes Are Beautiful, the remix, you did that a while back for What If Productions, and I had to remind you that you did that.
It's funny. I remember I was on the radio in New York when I was doing the lunchtime mixes for this Latin station, and I put it on the mix, and her mother called, said, "Can you play the R&B version?" I'm like, "This is a freestyle show. I can't play the R&B version or the pop version." I said, "I'll talk to the music director. Maybe they can play it on a different show." But that was amazing, and it was Leah and Casely, some other artists that she do it with, and he was really good too, a young kid. And when you reminded me who it was crazy.
Yeah, Casey ended up sampling a Johnny O song in his R&B song. So that, freestyle is always connected to mainstream music, and we somehow touch it and make it better. That's been the case for 30 years plus. We in the freestyle community, and especially producers like you touch projects that make modern music better. We just don't get the credit for it, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So getting back to the 418 distribution portion of Artistik Recordings, how do you compare being distributed by Micmac Recordings and doing the CD thing and having them distribute your material to 418 Freestyle in 2020?
I mean, difference is also the timing, right? So right now, we're all virtual, right? Like what we're doing right now. Usually I'll be at your radio station. We'll be doing this, having fun. I'm making fun of you, you're making fun of me.
Yeah, this is the most serious we've ever been. Like this is like a serious interview right now.
Yeah. So, it's different because I can't see Gino as much as I would like to go to the office, hang out. That's what I did with Micmac. I was there all the time. It got to a point that they were like, "You want me to rent you an office? One of the office spaces, you're always here." But of course, Marvin owed me money, so he just gave me an office. Anyway, so I was there all the time, and me and Gino, we communicate almost every day, if not every day. It could be the weekend. Just what I appreciate. Yeah, this is a business. This is a partnership. This is something that we're working on. This is a professional thing that we're doing. But he's also a good guy, and that's the most important thing to me. If I feel good about a person, about our friendship, relationship, that makes me more confident that I know he's going to go all out to push this music, and I know he wouldn't pick up crap either. But I think it's very similar. Because to be honest, I'm joking around about Micmac, but I got along with Marvin and Mickey, and I was all the time, and I have a good relationship with Gino. And I know if this whole pandemic thing wasn't happening, and I live in Connecticut now, I'll be driving up to Jersey and hanging out and just talking about ideas how to promote this music, and that's to come though. It's not it's still early in this whole thing. We released 4 records already, but it's still early, and I can't wait to be able to head down there and hang out and push music and run ideas by each other.
We're getting a sale right now, mystery sale, 50% off. I'm not sure how that popped up. Again, I'm very proud of the conversations that we have. We are privy to being in a room together. You, myself, Alyssa B, TKA, just vibing about future projects and just seeing the success of Alyssa B's Memories of Love and the success of Slipping Through My Hands. And I like the fact that Gino is an open book and he's there to educate. And he's been doing that for 2.5 years now. Why did you take it upon yourself to go learn from him?
I go back to when I just met him a year ago, like in person. I definitely knew the name, and we knew of each other. But I remember he invited myself and George Anthony, and I said to myself, "Damn, I got to drive all the way to South Jersey because I already lived in Connecticut." So I picked up George. I'll never forget that day because I picked up George in Washington Heights, Manhattan. And when I think he got off the train, I went around the block. It took an hour and a half to go around the block to get on the bridge. That was the most frustrating thing. But we went down there, and he shared everything with me. Like, he gave me advice from day one. He said, "Let me show you what I do. Let me show you how I do this." And he just explained things to me, and I'm like, wow. And granted, I've been running my own label for years, but I'm Mr. CDs, Mr. Cassettes, Mr. Vinyl, and I got into the digital because that's something I had to get into, right? I had to stay with the times, but I never felt that I was able to get it to where I wanted it to go. With the exception of one record, and it's amazing, I Must Go On, by Cynthia Figueroa. That record got like 100,000 streams, and it just took off. To this day, it's still highly streamed.
And it's something that you posted, right? And I don't want to interrupt you, but I want to make sure people know this. Something that you posted and you didn't think it was going to go anywhere. Like, you make remixes just to make sure that you have a full album and you get counted in streaming services. But you relied on the freestyle community to get the freestyle version out there. Well, the EDM community embraced your wife and made this song the popular song that it is.
Crazy. It's crazy. I mean, hey, we'll take it. I can't wait to release her new record, written by Alyssa B also. I mean, Alyssa B has been so busy, and I don't even want to, I feel bad sometimes, like I don't want to overwhelm her, and I don't want her to feel like we're using her. She's just amazing. She's an amazing writer. We talk, every week we're chatting, or, we'll send a text message, or, we'll catch up. And thank you, D. Thank you, Dawn. I'm your mentor. But I think now, like I saw a couple of comments. The team that I'm on now is amazing. From it's their interaction with the artist, with my distributor, my partner, other producers, yourself. We run ideas by. We know sometimes we don't agree, and sometimes we joke around, and sometimes we vent, right, on a daily basis. But
yes,
all in all, it's a really good thing. It's not. We don't annoy each other. We're doing everything. We're discussing things to make this music better. And one thing I just want to say, like, I don't do records to bring freestyle back. That's not what I don't focus on that. I just want to make one good freestyle record at a time. And that's all I want to do. I don't ever claim to be the person who's going to bring it back. And as much as I love it, because Jose, I don't listen to anything else.
Same here.
I don't produce any other music. I tried in the past, but I love doing freestyle. So my heart is in this, So I like to share ideas with people that feel the same way, had that same passion. And with the team that we're working with now, they had that same passion.
To add to your comment, the thing is that for you and I, we only listen to freestyle music, but the thing about bringing it back, we never lost it. We've been playing freestyle for 30 plus years. You've been a mainstay here in New England for the time that I've known you, 25 years plus. You've created avenues for so many people, and I always talk about the tree and the branches. Willie Valentin is a root in freestyle that created this huge tree and these branches of different artists, and I can go down the list: Pose, Marisol, the Mena Brothers, Vocal Image, Annalise. I mean, the list goes on and on and on of people that you've given opportunity to. You cultivated your own spot. So when people say bringing it back, I'm like, he's been here. Willie Valentin, when there was no social media, when we were back in the Freestyle Nation days, I would drive from New York to Massachusetts. I remember, I got my first apartment, and it became the Artistic Studios for a moment, and that one bedroom apartment when, the first ass thing that I ever got was Ray Rawls. Big shout outs going out to him. But I remember that brand new couches, and I'm like, I'm going to work, come back, and I got the Ray Raw butt stain on there, right? But big shout out going out to him. But the point that I'm trying to make is that you've never left this music. I've never left this music. We've been, churning it out. Me doing broadcasts every week, 6 hours a week for 52 weeks out of the year. You putting out great freestyle music. You helping out people. You even people that I question helping, but you still want to make sure that everybody gets an opportunity. And so you've never left. We've never left. So it's not about bringing it back because we've been here, and we continue to be here.
Yep. And it's fun again. I'm going to bring it back to that. I wouldn't do this if it's not fun. To me, I don't look at it as like I wake up going, "Oh man, I hope I sold this many units. I need to pay my mortgage." Then that's not fun for me. If it's a good record, it's going to do its thing. And when you have the right people behind the music, behind the record, behind the songs, it's going to do well. So that's why I like this formula that we have right now with 418 Artistic and the artists that we're working with, the producers, the remixers. I really want to open it up for other talent to get in there. And I did that with the Dedicate My Love with D Mike and JW. I think they're really talented producers, remixers, and that's what I want to build. I don't want to produce and remix every record. I don't want it to look that way. This is
right.
a record label, and I think in order for it to grow, we need to have that other talent and not taint their experiences. And they go, "I'm not doing freestyle no more," and make them have a good time.
Yeah, I just purchased a Charlie XO, and I haven't told him if I'm going to play it or not. I'm still not going to tell him. But the bottom line is that I want people to earn things, and I know you feel the same way. And I see a lot of people going out there and earning it. I see people trying to create avenues for new artists. I see you giving opportunity to people like D Mike. D Mike did a great job with Diddle D's Into the Night. I became a fan when I heard that production. He also gives credit to Edwin Ramos for assisting him. He gives credit to you for giving him great advice. And I like that as well. I like the fact that Edwin Ramos, yourself, are still working together because you guys collaborated on Freestyle Parade Volume 3. One of my greatest experiences was seeing all these artists in one room recording together in Bridgeport, Connecticut. You had Jasmine Dennis cooking, you had Pose in the booth yelling and screaming, you had George Anthony, you had the Mena brothers, Stephanie Marie, one of the iterations of Giggles. There was just a bunch of talent there. Lorenzo, yourself. It was just great. And so to fast forward all these years and for Edwin Ramos to welcome K7 TKA to go to his studio to record the vocals again, to be part of the project, to also be mentoring people. That's great because the new generation, the people that are going to carry this forward, we're going to need to provide assistance to them as well.
Yeah, so I'm training my daughter how to use the equipment. She wants to learn it. She wants to go to music school for high school. She's like, I want to go to a music centric school. I don't want to just have a music program. I want it to be the arts. She's amazing. That's the future for me. She truly has a love for music that I didn't push. She was brought up around it, and she likes a lot of different things, and that's the future for me. 12 years old, 2 records already under her belt, music video. She just did a show on one of the freestyle shows that are coming out, virtual shows that are being released in October. So she's in demand, and she's having a good time, and I'm having a good time watching her grow into this. So I want to give her everything, all the tools to be able to continue doing it, whether she does freestyle or not. But I know she loves freestyle just like my 2 older daughters, and I think she'll continue doing it.
I love watching your daughter perform. I'm honored that she performed for the first time ever at one of my family nights because that was the whole point of family night. The community gathered together. It was people who love freestyle back in the 80s with their children that grew up in the 90s listening to freestyle. And now in the 2000s, they have children and they were all there. And these generations all gathered to watch you and your wife present your daughter on, on her first performance. And to me, man, I watched that video and it touches me all the time. Um, and she is great. Your daughter sounds lovely a cappella. She came and did a version of her song with the ukulele live on my show. I go back into the CPR's Clubhouse archives for that. It's amazing. So the talent is there. She teaches herself too how to play instruments. So she's going to be a great producer. She's gonna be awesome. She's gonna be
She's particularly talented. She knows musical theory. She taught herself, so it's again, like I said, that's the future. I know she's listening. She just creeped up down to my studio, peeking her eyes out over here.
Tell her I said hello.
She said good night because she's going to bed.
Now the new Cynthia Figueroa, we're waiting for it. How's that coming along?
It's awesome. She had a little scare, and she was having throat problems, but she's better now. So we just got to do the background, and it's done, and then I just mix. I can't wait to finish that record. It's we went through a lot of songs until we found the right one, and it was funny. Alisa was like, I could try to write something for you, and she sent me 2 songs, and we loved them both. I'm like, oh my god.
I love her. I
Now
love her
that
so
you're
much.
gone, the title of the song, and it's awesome. When I heard, I got excited again. And once the backgrounds are done, um, me, I'm probably going to change the music because I started it in January, and now to me it's dated because it's not 8 months later. So,
Right.
but I can't wait. Vocally, she's ripping it like as usual, and yeah, I can't wait. That's going to be the next hit. You know,
Absolutely.
Artistic for the label. I think we put out some great product. Starting with TKA, then Alisa B did her thing, and then we released my remix, and then Jasmine Dennis. So I'm proud of all these records. Um, I don't want to put out 30 different artists. I want to stick to my little crew, and I don't mean it as a team because I don't, you know how I feel about those teams.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
But I like to keep it small, the circle, when it comes to artistic, because um, there tends to be some jealousy sometimes. I experience it all. How many artists that I have in the 90s? I don't know, 20, 30. And then it doesn't get fun anymore. So when you focus on a handful, it's fun. I'll still do my remixes, of course. That's my side thing, and I love doing that.
Mhm.
And there's a lot of good talent out there. I mean, when I heard the Jesse B, when I heard Diddle D, I was like, I got to do these remixes. I didn't want to touch the Elisa B because I loved the record the way it was. And Gino's like, yeah, just do a remix. I'm like, all right. The funny thing, me and Lisa were talking the other day, and we said, wow, every time I see a Facebook Live, they're playing my mix. I'm like, and I didn't expect that because the original is so dope. It's so
Right.
dope. But yeah, it's fun. We got to keep it going, do the right thing, keep it fun for everyone. For the artists, pay them. Making sure that everyone eats. That's important to me. Um, and helping others. Helping the artists that are putting out music, putting out good music, and helping them out as well, promoting that good music. I'm friends with everyone in the industry, and if I don't like a record, I don't say anything bad publicly. I just probably won't mention it as much. But Ray Raw is on.
Yeah.
um, not that I think it's a horrible record, but I'm going to push the ones I really have that feeling. Back in the days when we heard freestyle, we're like, oh, this is my jam. So I'm going to give you an example again. When I heard the Diddle D, I'm like, that's my jam. I went on live and I'm like, you guys got to get Diddle D. And because I really felt it. And don't get me wrong, I don't want anyone to feel left out. I did the Louis Marte record, the Jesse B, Andrea Martin. I mean, I wouldn't do those tracks if I didn't like them. I like them all, you know. So
I enjoy your remixes. I concur on the Diddle D top 10 song of 2020 in my book. You've done that with me. That's how I was introduced to Alyssa B. I remember listening to you call me and say, "Have you heard the Charlie Baby featuring Alyssa B record?" I'm like, "No." I was like, "Yeah." They didn't have it on iTunes. They didn't have it anywhere other than Beatport. And I spent like $23, I think, on getting the single because Beatport is that expensive, right? But I bought it, and I was like, "Man, what a great song!" And that was my introduction to Alyssa B. Though she had her history, that was my introduction to this great singer, this great writer, this great person, the Ember Moon of freestyle. But she blew me away, and then Legendary came out, and that's it. I'm in love. The #1 song for 2018. And now she wrote the biggest record of 2020 so far. She continues to write great music, and she is such a great team player, a classy lady is what I call her. I can't say enough good things about Alyssa B.
I met her in Chicago. Beautiful soul. We had a good conversation the first time, and I remember I was a little nervous to meet her because I know she wrote "In My Heart," and I don't think I did that song justice. So she goes, "Oh, you did a nice job with "In My Heart." I was like, "Oh my God," I was so embarrassed. She's like, "No,
yeah."
no. Like, I love that record. I love that record, and
I hate it when you remake that. You made that record. I told you about that.
And but it's funny. Everybody wanted me to do this record. I'm like, I don't sing like that, But I it is what it is, and it's funny. Some people, I guess, me doing that record gave it more promotion because a lot of people never heard the original. And I'll never forget, they played it on FM radio in New York, my version, and I remember people calling me up and go, "Oh my God, I love this record!" Like, hear the original. And I remember I played it on the mix. And they go, "Oh my God, it sounds so good! You sound so good." I'm like, "That's not me. That's the original record." They're like, "Oh, I thought you were the original." I'm like, no, that's Isaac.
Let me go ahead.
Okay.
No, Isaac in My Heart, one of the best songs of all time. It's just when you hear. I mean, for us, we heard the original first. We played the original first. We burned out the original first, and then you remade it, and it was like, come on, But I understand that at one point in time, people thought that you were the original.
Yeah.
Just like people think that Philip Anthony actually sings "All Out of Love," and not Air Supply.
Like, Air Supply is biting off Philip Anthony. I'm like, no.
I want to ask you about your reaction to the reunification of K7 and AB, the actual voices of TKA. What did you think when you saw them unite?
Happy, definitely happy feeling inside. Like I said, I'm a big fan of TK from back in the day. I remember I used to hang a lot with AB in the 90s. He was in my studio all the time. We did a record on one of the compilations. And my dream was to always reunite the originals and produce the originals. And I just didn't have the connections. That's why I was reaching out to Joey Gardner. Can I do a remix on this song? And he allowed me to do it. And that felt great, and I was a little upset it never came out. I was like, damn it, that was my chance, But to see them both together, again, my favorite freestyle group of all time. And it's funny, I speak to Kay all the time now, either with text or we'll call each other, and I don't think he knows how big of a fan I was of TK. I don't do that when we talk. I don't tell him, but it's inspiration. Hell yeah. When I was in a singing group in '87, I wanted to be TK. I wanted to be them. I wanted to be just like them. I loved the way they danced, the way they performed. The music was awesome. So to see them 30 plus years later, it was a great feeling. It touched me as much as when we released Slipping Through My Hands and I heard it on the radio. It felt that good.
Yeah, let me tell you, man, TKA, like I said it in so many times, I skipped school to walk to see them perform. I walked to Six Flags from Springfield through West Springfield to Agawam. When I got there, they were already on stage. That's how long it took me to walk there. Thank goodness, I got a ride back, but just my favorite freestyle group of all time. And I'm the executive producer of that record right there. I put the thing together. People make fun of that executive producer title, right? But they don't understand. Like it's a what was that? I said you're doing it.
Making funny.
You stop. Yeah, I know. I paid you to stop making fun of me. But again, it's a great accomplishment for me. It's a bucket list situation. You know, it's like an idea that I have of getting 3 of my favorites together to collaborate on a song. The best writer right now, Alyssa B, the 2020 producer of the year, the closer Willie Valentin, and the greatest freestyle group of all time, TKA, and you know, it just worked out. So that's amazing that I got my name on that record over there. But we're here to talk about you, right? Are you hoping for another 25 years of Artistik Recordings?
I just hope for another 25 years of life, and if I'm alive, you know, it's going to be artistic as long as my heart is beating. My heart beats for this music, and you know, I wish I could do it all day, every day, like I used to. You know, it was sleepless nights, tired, taking a nap like 7 in the morning, getting up at 8, and getting back into the studio. And I don't know if I could
traveling to Connecticut to sell CDs to Mr. Musica.
Oh, yeah, the hustle was real back in the day.
Yeah. You talk about all these. You talk about these bundles and stuff like that. You're the originator of that. No. The bundles.
I just want to give a quick shout out to LD Ross. I see him in the chat room. I didn't get a chance to acknowledge him, and I owe him an apology. So I just want to, while I'm on here, I just want to say that he came to me with a project, and when the whole COVID thing started, and I lost touch with him, and not because I didn't want to do the project. It's you know, I'm not gonna lie. You know how I feel about this whole situation.
Yes, sir.
I kind of got a little sad and was a little fearful of what was going to happen for the future of my family, my friends. So I kind of lost touch with that, and I kind of let him down. And I just want to apologize to him for that. I haven't even reached out because I was embarrassed, but you know, I don't mind. And I think he deserves an apology, so I wanted to take the time to apologize for him.
You know, we can get Louis Martin to come on here and sing "Apology I Owe You," the remix that you did for Noel, for LD.
Noel, do the beatbox. Come on, Louis Martin.
So isn't it great that? I'm sorry. One more time.
No, I thought you were saying something before that.
Yeah, well, the Louis Martin, I was going to say that isn't it great that you see all the people that you've worked with in the 90s branching off to create their own projects, to create their own destiny. You know, I've given Louis Martin a hard time, and he knows that. But you know, Apology I Owe You, he proved to be completely wrong. The remixes, the song itself, the lady in the background, still don't know what her name is. Please put it down so I can send her a shout out. You know, you see Angel, Julio, Mena doing their thing. You see all these artists that have become your branch of the root of the tree that you planted here in New England and in many parts of the world. How does it feel to, you know, see the fruits of your labor? You know, like Lorenzo's doing stuff, LD's doing stuff.
Yeah. We all started together. It's funny. So I could say I guided everyone to doing what we're doing now, but I don't want to give myself all the credit. They always had this talent. I didn't give them the tools. They just saw. They learned the same way I did it. I was a teenager when I was doing it. I remember being in Tommy Uzzo's studio, and again going back to TKA. I'll never forget just learning so much while I was there. And I was like, oh, I touched the microphone, and I said, can I sing? Can I use this mic to record? He goes, yeah, TKA used that same mic. I said, oh my God. I was like, TKA used the same mic that I used. And I remember recording, and I said, I don't know. I don't think this mic is working right. I don't feel comfortable. He goes, listen, if TKA can record on that microphone, you can record on that microphone. I'm like, oh shoot.
God bless him.
But I learned Tommy Uzzo, may he rest in peace, he passed away this year. I learned from Tommy Uzzo. I mean, we would stay for hours in the studio in Long Island. And same thing, Angel, Julio lived in my house for a little bit. And he was like, Will, set me up, show me how to start the program. And I would leave him, and I would hear tum 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 pa 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 tum 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 pa. All of a sudden, tum pa tum pa, different type of pattern.
Yes.
Keyboards were different. I'm like, oh wow, he learned how to use it and he ran with it. Angel, I didn't know he wanted to produce until he came out with the first NSR. I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, Angel, what? And he became a master. He learned. He learned. I was so proud. But I think it was not me teaching him or teaching Julio or anybody else. It was like, I see what Will does. I want to do that too. I can do that. I have the potential to do that. I have the talent to do that. And they did it, and they ran. Same thing with like Louis Marte. I just want to say, like, he used to be in my house all the time, as well with Henry Vargas, and I didn't know he ever wanted to produce. Or, he was a vocalist, in the group. And to see where he's done now, like he taught himself how to be an engineer, how to be a producer, he a songwriter, and he became an industry person. And I'm like, wow, I'm proud, and everybody in my past, yeah, we bump heads, we've argued, but that's what we do. We're friends, we're family, we're gonna do that. But I'm so proud to see everyone what they're doing on their own. And I tell everybody who comes to me, they're like, oh, can I get, can you release my song? I'm like, you should release your own song. Let me show you how to do it.
Right.
Let them experience that.
What are your thoughts on teams? Because we touched on that before, but I really want to take your take on it. I want to get your take on it. What do you think about teams and the division?
So, you talking about Microsoft Teams, the application, or?
First joke of the night, ladies and gentlemen, and it's a killer. I'm talking about the freestyle teams. I know that 8 years ago I created Team CPR for the radio station. It was a motivational thing. It was Team CPR. Let's get everybody listening to the radio, requesting and giving shout outs and giving up prizes to the fans and doing stuff with the fans. But now the team mentality is taking a different turn.
I'm not a fan. To be honest with you, I'm not a hater. I'm just not a fan because I don't like to segregate one artist. Artist A had their own fan base. No, that artist A fan base also likes artist B. And you kind of put them in the middle because sometimes when artists don't get along, now your fans are like, first of all, they're seeing it. And then second of all, like, who should I follow? I don't want to get in trouble for following A and then B gets mad. I'm not a fan of that. And I get it, because the big artists, like, Lady Gaga has her fans have a name, and Ariana Grande fans have a name. That's a little different for me. You know who starts those teams? The fans. But now I see the artists start the teams, and I don't like that. I'm not going to be like, hey, Team Artistic, follow me. I don't want to start that. If the fans want to create something, that's great, because it's a little different. I think the approach is different, and the way you look at it is different. But if you're going, hey, follow me, come on, be part of my team, I'm not a fan of that. And my friends do it in the industry. I love them, but that's just not for me. And other artists who are probably listening to this interview live or will listen to it later going to be like, what's Will talking about? He's a hater. Nah, I'm just not a fan of. That's why I always put it's on my Facebook, Team Freestyle. The fans love freestyle. They follow freestyle. They're a team of freestyle fans. That's it.
Thank you for your take on that. Big shout outs go out to Nick Colon, one of your interns at Artistic Recordings. He's here with us. He's also agreeing that the team mentality is pretty embarrassing. And I'm hoping that, for the new year that, we disband all the teams. I think that is not necessary. There was a time where quality is what mattered. And now we have a lot of information being muffled because of teams. If you're a team this person, you can't like that person, just like you said. And I don't subscribe to that, especially, being on the radio. And, a personal problem is different. But, someone trying to tell me what I can play or cannot play, that's not good for me. I can't do that.
Or to manipulate music. This is a good year for freestyle. You know that. Let me tell you what I see the biggest difference, right? Besides that, we have quality freestyle coming out, which is step one, the most important thing. The DJs who never gave new freestyle a chance are now playing the new freestyle. When I saw Anthony Mangini, and it was real. His response was like, "Yo, I love this record. And I'm like, wow, this guy's a house DJ, and I know his name. And it just made me feel good. Then I saw, DJ Lucho, who I've seen, for years. And I know he's an old school cat. He plays old school freestyle. And the things he is saying about new school, it's like, you guys opened my eyes to this music again. And it's like, it's quality. So now I see everyone playing it. Everyone, even freestyle DJs who only play old school. I can't go on a
Frankie
day.
Colors is a perfect example.
Yeah, Frankie has a lot of viewers, and his show, it's the Monday Freestyle Classics, and now he's playing the new classics, because that's what these records are going to be, the new freestyle
Mhm.
classics. But I mean, I don't even want to pinpoint one person out. Like, I can't go on a live without seeing a DJ play new freestyle.
I just saw someone scratching to slipping through my hands. Like they put the brake on and they were scratching. I missed the person's name, but they did a great job. It wasn't like bad. It was awesome. And to see them scratching to 15, 20 people slipping through my hands and on beat and having like a two turntable effect, that's pretty dope. And again, I'm celebrating new quality freestyle. That's what I like to play on my radio show. That's what I feature on my countdown. I'm fortunate now to be on 2 radio stations, do a podcast, be on Facebook Live with friends and people that I want to educate. And so we need more like that. We got to get away from gossip. We got to get away from negativity and this team mentality and really focus on, let's promote good quality freestyle. And that I wanted to get your take on that. I know that they're always asking you, and you take the high road, or you say I don't see it. You know what I mean? Because you may not, but I just
I
wanted
didn't
to
see
get
it.
your
You
take
talking
on it.
about like the drama part of it? I mean, the drama part of it, I stayed away a lot from it, and that's why I didn't see it a lot. I would unfollow people, and even some of my friends. We're still friends on Facebook. I just don't follow them because sometimes I see too much negativity and BS. I'm still their friends. I just don't want to see that stuff. So I would make sure I don't see it. But now it's a little different ever since we released our first track with 418 Freestyle, the TKA. And I'm so involved because everyone's reaching out now. It got to a point that I'm like, I can't do another record. But then
Right.
everyone's reaching out, and I'm busy and watching stuff on the internet. You can't help but see that some of that negativity. And I'm like, wow. And I told you the other day, I'm like, kind of put me down for like a week going, do I really want to do this again?
Right.
But
Uh,
thank God I didn't let that bother me, because I'm not stopping. I'm not stopping.
yeah. I mean, and from my side, when I see the negativity, and sometimes for the most part, I'm involved in it because of my countdown or because of a personal situation. It does bring you down. But I'm inspired. I'm inspired by songs like "Slipping Through My Hands" and "Memories of Love" and "Diddle Dee's Into the Night." I'm inspired, to play these records. So I really have done everything in my power not to care about, team this versus team that, because I'm not involved. Even though people involve me, I'm not involved, and I know you're not either. So I wanted to make that clear that you don't care. There are times where I've even tried to bring stuff up to you, and you're like, I don't really want to talk about it. Let's do something else.
Mm-hmm.
Or you let me vent for 5 minutes, and then you're like, oh yeah, let's move on. So now people are clear, with that. One thing that I also want to be clear on is, or talk to you about is streaming. How do you feel about people that earn their streaming versus the people that are paying for their streaming? Team Freestyle.
That's what I'm saying. This is from my Facebook page. Um, I'm sorry. What was the question again?
The question was, how do you feel what's going on now? Because it seems like when we take a step forward, we usually we try to keep that momentum, but then we stop and start taking steps back. So, for example, the new positive thing to do now is to stream your music, right? And so, what are your feelings on people who are buying their streams versus the people who are actually earning their streams?
Buying a stream gets you nowhere. Those are not real fans that are listening to your music. You want a stream from someone who likes your music, and when your next song comes out, they're going to stream that one and add it to their playlist and to their repertoire of music. If it's a purchase stream, they don't know who you are. They don't care who you are. It could probably not even be a person. So, are you really making a difference for yourself as an artist? I'd rather have 1,000 real streams than a million fake ones. I didn't get anywhere with that. It's gonna look good, but are those million streams gonna happen on the next record? No, because I have to buy them again. I'm not doing that.
Your collaboration with 418 Freestyle as them being your distribution, is that something that you see as a positive thing at this moment, or do you still need to evaluate that?
No, it's been a great ride. It's nothing negative I can say about it. Gino is communicates daily, multiple times, and before I wake up and I'm seeing, hey, this is what we did yesterday. This is where we are with our numbers, and I love that. I didn't get that before. uh, so
Yeah.
you know,
That was my question from before too. Like, what are the differences between Micmac from back in the day and Gino now with streaming? And thank you for making that point, because that's what I wanted from you.
yeah, it's a great experience. I can only do so much. I'm a producer. I'm an artist, and let me just say that I'm an artist first, but I'm more known as a producer because I can produce 10 tracks and come out with one. So, but if I stick to producing and writing, it's hard to run the record company, and that's when I feel bad for my artists because then I can't push them the way they should be pushed. I can't get the record to where it should be, and then you start losing artists like that. Not losing them from my label. People give up and stop singing and stop doing,
Right.
and I don't want to do that. So I'm glad that Gino, he's a hardworking man. Um, Things that I'm not able to do, he's like, I got it. This is what I need from you, Will, and I take care of that. So um, we leverage each other out. So we balance it. So he's doing things that I'm not able to do, and I'm doing things to get the music. First of all, I'm getting the music produced, right, so we can have stuff to release. And he's taking care of the promotions, getting the music out there. He's relentless, um, and that's what I needed. And when we spoke, I said, I can't do all this myself anymore. And to be honest, I'm slow to adapting to new stuff. Like I was analog. It took me forever to go to digital. I kicked and screamed, no, I don't want to go digital. And then when iTunes came out, I hated digital. I don't care about downloads. I care about it now. Um, and I'm learning streaming. I'm not there yet. Like I'm not. I just started. I actually pay for a subscription for Spotify, and I like it. It's a good experience. I'm like, okay, now I get it why kids like to stream. You know, so I'm learning. I mean, this is an industry that changes, and I learn and I adapt to that.
Well, I don't want to keep you any longer, Willie. I thank you so much for joining us tonight. I just hope that it's educational. One of the things that I wanted to point out was that I when I first started doing these streams, that I wanted people to go out, create a Spotify playlist, and share it. And that's also what Louis Marte is reiterating right now. So, it's something that I want people to start doing, to create their Spotify list and sharing it. Just like back in the day when you created a cassette to give to a person that you were in love with or somebody that you wanted to date, that's what you would want to do now. If you really support music, that's what you want to do.
You want to hear the new TK?
Stop it.
K's like, what?
Once again, Willie Valentin, any shout outs or special hellos before we go?
No, I'm just kidding. No, I mean, everyone who's tuned in right now, I told you about the last minute thing. Not sure if we're going to have everyone that, a lot of people on, but I appreciate everyone who was able to tune in. I want to first thank you for giving me the opportunity. And I've been watching the shows and it's growing and it's nice, man. I like what you're doing. I'm very proud of you. I know you for a long time.
Steady.
Yeah. Shout outs to Cheryl. She's a new member of the WTCC 90.7 team, and I love listening to her. She's got a great. She made it her own personality. Sometimes I feel that some DJs sound like other people. She's her own.
It's like listening to Carrie from King of Queens.
Yes, King of Queens.
Yes.
I want to thank, say shout outs to Elisa B, Gino, K, LD Ross, Louis Marte. Wow, there's a whole bunch of people. I don't want to miss anybody. D Mike for, doing his thing on my remix. JW, my biggest fan, Michelle. Ray Raw. Man, I hope I don't forget. If I look at everyone on the list here, Vera, I'm not sure how to pronounce the name, so I apologize if I messed up your name. trying to think, and I feel bad. Oh, D Marie, D Marie Entertainment, Jesse B, Diddle D. They would tune in earlier. Thank you so much. And it's a pleasure working with that team as well of their artists, and hopefully we can do more music together as well. Um, Jasmine Dennis, my wife Cynthia Figueroa, Lily Rose, of course. Um, and I hope I don't offend if I forgot your name. I'm not trying to. But everyone who tuned in tonight, thank you so much. Um, yeah, that's it.
Well, Willie, once again, thank you so much for joining us here on CPR's Clubhouse Live. We hope to grow the audience, and of course, with you and all your teachings, we're definitely going to do that. And I can't wait to catch you for the next 25 years on Artistic Recordings.
Yep. So don't forget, go to artisticrecordings.com for any updates, or you can go to my webpage, willievalentin.com. And if you want to get all the latest releases, we got everything, right? I gotta do the quick. My camera's backwards. Okay. TKA, Alisa B, me. I don't have an initial. Willie V, Lily Rose, and that's not coming out. But anyway, yeah. So there's a lot of stuff. You guys, thank you for your support. Keep streaming. Keep downloading. If you're a vinyl collector, if you're a CD collector, make sure you support not only me but everyone in freestyle, your favorite freestyle artists. All right. And hopefully we'll do a virtual concert from that side of my house. We set up a stage, and you'll see some of that stuff happening soon.
All right, Willie Valentin, thank you so much. Everybody, once again, that's Willie Valentin, celebrating 25 years of Artistic Recordings. And of course, don't forget to go to willievalentin.com and also check out all the latest releases, especially his latest single, Dedicate My Love. Good way to end it. Good night, everybody.
See you.